Hello and welcome to Season 3 of the Penny Lane Podcast. This episode is with young Sosa Trader. It is brought to you by Pennies Going in Raw and Last Bottle Wines. Enjoy!
The stock market is hotter than ever right now, and traders are taking advantage. But what does that mean for the people who still haven't started trading? The market can be a little intimidating at first, but you don't have to be alone in the learning experience. We at the Pennies Going in Raw podcast are here to help you. I'm Dan, and with my co-host Hugh Henney, we make the stock market a fun but informative experience for our listeners. We offer knowledge for all levels of traders, from beginners to those who do it full time. On PGIR, we discuss up-to-date news about the stock market and interview other traders who all started out just like us and made it big. You'll hear from Hugh and other multi-millionaire traders, founders and CEOs of companies, FinTwit superstars, and even professional athletes. Have you ever thought about investing your hard-earned cash but don't know where to start? Do you have money just sitting in your savings account collecting dust? We were all there once too. Listen to Pennies Going in Raw on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, young Sosa. Welcome to the Penny Lane Podcast. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thrilled to have you. Thrilled to have you. This is for Season 3, but we are recording it the week before Christmas in 2021. How has the market been for you?
The market has been shaky these last couple of weeks.
A little shaky.
A little bit more than a little shaky. It's been very shaky. But as I tell everybody, we don't try to predict the market, we react to it.
For sure. So have you personally been finding ways to trade that are working in this market, or have you stepped back a little, sized down, or you're moving forward?
I have sized down considerably because as you see, just the past couple of days, we've had days where giant sell-offs like 2 days straight. Then the very next day it reversed and shot all the way back up. So what people are doing, I'm finding a lot of people are just keeping this bias, like, oh, it's going to continue to go down, and then they get completely faked out and shook out of their positions because their bias is downside, then the stock goes up. And so what I'm doing, and I'm telling all the people in my Discord and my friends and everything, is don't be like, you can have your bias, but don't let that be your only motive. Play both sides. If you see a trade and you see it going in this way, like I tell everybody, watch for direction. The trend is your friend. If you see
your friend.
The trend is your friend. If you see the wave going up, ride the wave up until it shows you something else.
For sure. So, would you like to tell me just a little bit about your journey, how you got into trading?
Yeah, for sure. I very first got introduced to trading maybe about 5 years ago. That's right when I graduated college. It was me and my friend Makai who was talking about. It was like, well, what are we gonna do if we both graduated from industrial engineering in Texas A&M.
I gotta pause there. You know, I love my engineers on the Penny Lane podcast. Got all my engineers. I love it. Welcome.
Thank you. And so we was talking about it because we was like, at this point in time, we're still like both young into the professional field, and was like, well, and like industrial engineering, engineering in general, like it's a great career, but the job market is always shaky because there's so many of us and there's so little jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was me and my friend was like, well, what's something else we could do to passive income? And he actually brought it up to me. He brought up the stock market, then he brought up Forex. And I dabbled with it, just doing information. At this point in time, I didn't want to throw any money in it because I was uncertain. And so, like, fast forward, I began, I'm working in all that, engineering, and COVID happens.
Wait, did you tell me where you're from?
Oh, I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Fantastic. All right.
Yes.
So COVID happens.
Mm-hmm. And so when COVID happens, like, our jobs going down everywhere, people getting laid off, and I am no exception. And so now I'm stuck wondering. I was like, because I have a daughter. My daughter was just born last year.
Oh, well, congratulations. So
Thank you.
is she, what, 18 months?
Exactly.
Ooh,
Right on the
fantastic.
like literally yesterday she turned 18 months on the
Oh,
dot.
that's such a good age.
Yes, yes.
Love it. Love it.
And so and so through that time I was like, man, I got to make some income. And so I was wondering, like, cuz I still had money saved up for this, and so I was like, well, I ain't got nothing else I can do except try to put, put food on the table. So I was like, let me try my hand in stock market. And it was the best and worst decision I've ever made.
Sure, sure, sure.
Best and worst decision, because at the beginning, as everybody know, you gotta, as we say, you gotta pay the market tuition.
Yep.
And so I began with maybe about 15 grand, and I went in, and I didn't know what I was doing. And within, I want to say the span of 4 or 5 months, 15 grand trickled all the way to about 4 grand.
Okay, so this is, what are we saying, like May 2020?
hmm
Okay, so you start with the 15 grand, and then how, I mean, that's around when I started. I started a little bit, I think I started in June, whatever. And did you just start with like a vibe, an idea, or like how,
Um, I
tell me how you
started,
first started.
okay. When I first started, I did one of the worst mistakes you could do, since I did like little research, but I didn't
Sure.
do like a deep dive research. I thought it would seem pretty simple, which it never is. As they say,
Mm-hmm.
if anything seems easy, it's probably not worth keeping. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I did was I went to stock twits,
Perfect.
and that is just like a fin twit, but of pure just madness of ideas. And and so I fell into it, and I'm trying to remember what the actual ticker was. It was I remember it was JC Penney, and
Oh, perfect.
and so JC Penney, they had this giant lawsuit going on because there was actually about to be delisted. And so there was a lot of people still in the stock, so they was talking about the giant rebound can happen and all that. And so I dumped a great amount of money into it.
Okay.
And I want to say I got in and it was like $8. And so it was just holding on to $8 pretty strong for like a couple of like, I'll about to say a couple months or so. And next, I didn't check it because I didn't have a stop loss because I didn't know about stop losses or anything at this point in time. And I went back and I
Yeah.
looked at it, and J.C. Penney dumped all the way down to, I want to say it was like $2,
Oh no.
and it never recovered.
Oh no.
And so from there, I was like, okay, well, I'm completely lost. And so from there, that's when I took my giant step back, and I was like, I'm not going to trade anymore till I get a very good idea. So from that point on, I went on to Twitter, and started looking around, following. Just like at this point in time, I didn't have nobody to follow, so I just put in FinTwit because that's what I heard, and I ran across the Atlas crew,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and
if you've listened to the Penny Lane pod,
yes,
that's where we all start.
yes, for sure.
I wanna kind of pause at the JC Penney
Mhm.
because that seems like a pretty smart move, just to be honest. Like, here we're in COVID. You think JC Penney is an established brand, an
Mhm.
established name, like maybe they're down a little bit because of COVID, but like they'll come back. And they had done at some point in the last couple of years, like all of this rebranding, and they were going to, I think, turn it into, I feel like they had hired someone from Target or something. Like, I totally get the idea behind, I'm just going to buy this brand that I think is down a little bit, and
Mhm.
like that'll be that.
Yeah, exactly,
And
precisely. Because
yeah.
usually, from what I did read, there's like people always tend to say buy the beat down stocks, and like
Yeah.
buy them beat down and watch them when they hold them until they grow again.
Yeah.
And I was like, precisely as you said, JCPenney is an established. It's been out since if I remember correctly, like 1900s. That's how long
Yeah.
JC
My
Penney's been out.
grandma worked at J.C. Penney for a long time.
Precisely. And so I was like, well, this is bigger than Macy's or anything like that. So this should definitely be able to weather the storm. And
Yeah.
yeah, but as I say, you live, you learn. And it didn't. And so I was like,
Well,
well,
I also, when I started, was like, Peloton, like, this seems like a good idea. That's
hmm
just how you get started. And also, like, for anyone listening who's just getting started in trading, that is like a very, very normal thing to do, is to buy recognizable brands and just see what happens. And I think that people don't really talk about that aspect of it enough. And a lot of times people buy recognizable brands and then will, they just won't move enough. And then a lot of time that's how people get into day trading, because they're like, I made $4 this month. I need to make
hmm
more than that. Anyway, that's my own little soapbox. So you get in, you find Atlas. Now tell me what happens there.
Found Atlas. It's like if anybody's been in Atlas that's listening in, y'all know Atlas got lots of channels, lots
Uh
of
huh.
like there's a lot of things going everywhere. It's like if there was ever like a human trading room, that would be it. There's ideas flowing left and right. And so I was listening to everybody. I kept up with PJ. I kept up with Zach, Hugh Henney, Dan, um, Gary, the Goblin, Tommy. I kept up with everybody trying to keep up. They're always great help. But I got the most help from Ripster, because he's full of information and I love to pick his brain. So, and that's what I did continuously till I started getting some answers. And so from
Fantastic. I am such a big fan of Ripster's like buy high, sell higher
hmm
philosophy. Really fits my style. So I'm
hmm
all for it. So did Ripster give you like personal help?
Yes, he actually messaged me a couple of times, like giving me information, some certain stuff I should look for, where could I be better, what am I not looking at. So
I love that.
he definitely helped me. Yeah.
Cool.
From there though, I still felt like something was missing, and so from there I bounced around to a couple other discords. And then I ran into one of my personal favorite, which was MTA, Mullins Trading Academy, which is where
Hello.
yeah, which is where I met you at as well, and with Happy, Mullins, Gusto, Totoro. Shout out to the large caps options family.
Totally. Where have you talked to Gusto recently?
I actually have not. Last time I talked to Gusto was maybe a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago.
All right. Well, I need to reach out to him. I miss him.
Yeah, like cause me and him, we always be sending pictures of our daughters, cause both of our daughters love the TV show Bluey,
Yep.
and so I actually bought my daughter some Bluey outfits, and so he was like, "Where did I get them?" So I sent him the link.
Oh, fantastic. And then our cute little Happy.
hmm
We love Happy.
Yes, and so like for the things that I learned in Atlas, Happy just sharpened everything, sharpened all of it. It's like it's
Yeah.
you just fine tuning it, and so I stayed in the Mullins Training Academy for a good amount of time, and at this point in time, I'm still not consistent with my trades. I'm winning more than I'm losing, but I'm not consistent.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me take a step back and see where I can really get better at this, because I noticed something like I told you originally. At first, I noticed something was missing, but I couldn't put my finger on it before, and then it was the price action. I understand the breakout trading, because that's what a lot of people do, but I didn't understand like we'll say the inner workings of the candles and what they
Uh
really
huh.
meant. And so that is what I want to go through to actually get better at. And so from there, I just went on a crazy binge, deep diving into YouTube,
Okay.
and into diving into YouTube, I found the strat, the strat, which is
Okay.
Yes.
I so many people have emailed me about the strat. Like, we
Hmm.
got to talk about the strat. I
Yes.
don't know what it is. Can you explain it to me?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm excited.
The strat just stands for the strategy. That's all it is. And the strategy is really simple. There's only in the strat there is only we only trade what we know what is to be true. And what we know to be true is there's only three things that can happen because there's only three types of candles. There's a one, which is an inside bar, a two, which is a directional candle, what other people will call a higher high or a lower
Uh,
low,
yeah.
or the third candle will be an outside bar, also known as an engulfing bar. Those are the only three type of candles there are.
Okay.
And since we know that, we know there's only so many scenarios that can happen in trading. And so from there, you just put it all together. And if you go from like I said, Robin Black, Robin Smith on Twitter. He's the actual creator of it, but for a lot of information for people listening, I would highly recommend going to Trade Sniper Sarah or
Yes.
Cyberdog Strat Soldier. They got tons of YouTube material, and it is awesome. And it's awesome. It's great. It'll teach you anything and everything you need to know. But
So everyone has been saying that I need to get both those people on the podcast. So I'm thrilled to hear about this. So you find the strat, you watch the YouTube videos.
mhm. And
It
it after I watch the YouTube videos, of course, like if any smart trader, you're gonna go back and you're gonna test it out
sure.
and see if it remains true. And about 97% of the time, it all came true. It was the what?
Fascinating.
It was the highest win rate I've seen so far, and it almost always remained true. And then it's so awesome because it gives you your own profit targets. It gives you your profit target. So people be like, well, where would I take profit? It shows you. Where would you get
What
your
wait,
entry?
what shows you? The candle
The
shows you?
yeah, the strat will. After you know how the strat works, like I wish I could screen share so I can literally show what this
I know
looks
we're
like.
working on that. We're working on that.
Yes. But yeah, like just doing with the strat, like we'll say for an example, I'm gonna just say it and just bear with me. If I
No,
s-
that
if
sounds great.
Okay, if I said a two up, so think of a candle with a higher high. Then I say a one. So now you're thinking of an inside bar.
Yep.
An inside bar is consolidation. Now and then I say a two down. That's a 2-1-2. That's a reversal. What does that mean? That means that after the next candle. So really, right there, the way you would play this for the strat, you will have your higher high, which is your two up. You will have your inside bar. Now, everybody I believe should know how to play the inside bar, but if you don't, you could put we'll say you put a line invisible at the high of the inside bar and at the low of the inside bar.
Yep.
Right when it breaks the low of the inside bar, you will enter right there, and then you will just take it down, and then where your profit target would be depending on the time frame you're on, like the time frame that you put it on.
So what time frame do you like?
Me, preferably, I am a day trader. So, but every time I am making my profit targets, I make them based off of the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame. My 4 hour time frame is my triggers.
Okay.
It's just it's hard to explain without like literally showing because I'm just, like if I do say it any other way, it's just like throwing numbers that without a picture.
I mean, I'm looking at my candlestick chart right now. So I'm following you.
Okay. Actually, if you got it, I'll show it. I'll break it down to you if you got a chart up. Just tell me any chart you got up, and I'll let you know.
Ooh, all right. Let me get Lucid's my favorite stock. Can you do Lucid?
Lucid, it is.
All right, let me
Okay.
get my thinkorswim going. Lucid and I are on shaky ground with our relationship, but I feel like we could get back to really liking each other here soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start with Thursday just to show for an example. Because on Thursday, from Thursday to Friday, that was a two up, two down reversal to the downside. All right, from Thursday, okay, you should see on the outside bar, you should see an
Mm.
inside bar, then a two down, then like a two up, kind of.
Yep.
Okay, now where was it? From this inside bar, here's a perfect example. This is a 3-1, then a 2 reversal. So
Okay.
as you see, the 3, that's a reversal and a weighted. The reason the 3 is a reversal because it's an outside bar. If we go to a smaller time frame on a outside bar,
Uh
you would
huh.
see that it would make either a low, it would make a lower low, then it'll shoot all the way back up to make a higher high, or vice versa. It'll make a higher high, then shoot all the way back to the bottom to make a lower low. That's what makes it an outside bar because it's taking out both sides.
Okay.
Okay. Now for this, if you see this inside bar, like I said earlier, you'll put a line at the top, line at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. Now we can zoom into whatever intraday, like, cause I like entering my plays intraday.
Uh huh.
So I'll just have the 5 minute time frame up or so.
Uh huh.
And right from here, right when you see it break down under what I got, 39.66, you see it fall under it and it just tumbles. It just
Yep.
tumbles all the way down. And right there, that would be like as we say in the strat, you have trades that's actionable. Actionable means things that have not happened yet, and then you
Okay.
have the ones that's enforced. Enforced means it just became true. So when we like, all right, so for instance, if we say 39.66 is our trigger for the for puts to go low, because that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at, we'll be like, all right, well, say if it's 39.70, well, now it's still an actionable trade. It does not become enforced until we break underneath the 39.66.
Okay.
And from there, we know from the strat that it's going to go down. And then if we go from if we just look at, like I said, let me go back to the 4 hour. From 4 hour time frame, we can look and automatically know our profit target, because if we took it from here, from this blue line, or my blue line, my 39.66, our first target would have to be 39.05. After the 39.05, our second target would have to be 38.65. After our 38.65, our next target would have to be 37.06. And did it take it out? Yep, it sure did. After that, what would our next target be? It would have to be 36.74. And did it take that out? It sure did.
So these, yeah, just so you would take puts on Thursday and hold them until Friday,
Um, like theoretically, no, theoretically, I wouldn't, because I am a day trader. I do not,
right?
me personally, in this market, I do not like holding things overnight in this
Okay.
market right now. And only like maybe a couple of months ago, yes, I would with no hesitation. The market we're in right now, it's so rocky. I would not chance it.
Okay. So I like this because you guys know who listen, I love a if this then that strategy, and this seems very much like you wait for this to happen and then X, Y, and Z is the next move.
Hmm. It's basically like trading automatically with like a calculated risk. You already know when to enter, you know when to exit. If these rules does not happen, you do not take the trade.
So are
And
you in the Discord with Sarah? The
I actually am not.
okay.
I once upon a time I was, but I
Okay.
actually stepped out because I'm always on the lookout for more information. Always on the
Sure.
lookout for more information. And so eventually I stepped out even from further from them, and I just kept looking for information. And then I noticed out of nowhere, almost all over FinTwit, everybody started making discords and all paid services,
Yep.
and like it was coming out of the woodwork every which way. And so when I first began, I didn't have too much money or anything because as I told you, I lost a lot of it, and
Right.
so I wanted to give something back to the people. So I made a Discord, which is called OTF, only the family, and
Nice.
everything. Just and it's all free, and I give all the information, everything I've learned, everything in one place.
Okay. So it's your own Discord.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. And how many people do you have in it?
As of right now, I think I got about 300.
Oh wow.
Two,
That's wonderful.
yeah, 300. I don't promote it as much as I probably should, but as I always tell people, I'm not really into I'm, like if people want to join, they could join. I'm not one of the people that's gonna go out the way like, hey, join my Discord. I'm just the type of person. If you want to better yourself, I'm always here. This is like a library. Just come, sit, soak up the information. If you get everything that you can get out of me, that's good. Go get more information.
Yeah. So it's like a place for where you to keep all your thoughts and everything. So how many people do you have actively in your Discord every day? Like,
E- Every day, I probably have about 120.
and these are like regulars, and are they all sharing ideas and
Yes,
working together?
every morning, maybe about 20 minutes before market, the whole voice chat is full, full of people.
Oh, fun.
Yes, and so yeah, we try to take it from there, and my Discord is like, I know some people are very peculiar about how they do it. I'm not so much like there's some people in here that do follow the strat like I do. There's some people
Uh-huh.
that don't. Like me, the one thing the strat hates, it hates indicators. Absolutely
Okay.
hates them because indicators lag. Only thing that doesn't lag is volume and price action. And the strat is all about price action. All about price action. The candles would tell the whole story for you.
Okay.
And so for the most part, I dislike indicators, though, but I do use the 9 SMA, and I use the 9 SMA because it's like a momentum indicator, and it really do help pointing direction,
Okay.
especially when we're in choppy waters and everything. And so, like on a 5 minute, it could be looking like, oh, we're going up, but if you go to a higher time frame, you'll see that we're in complete chop.
So you mentioned puts. Are you mostly trading commons or options?
Me, I am an options trader. After JC Penney, I swore I would never touch another like share again until
Okay.
I promised myself I would not buy any more shares of anything until I make all my money back, and then the only shares I will buy is into dividends, so my money can make money.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Irrational exuberance?
When it comes to killer wine at drastically low prices,
30 to 70% off retail and free shipping.
we live for that here at Last Bottle Wines. Whether you went long or short on GameStop, you'll need a glass of something terrifically tasty.
And we've got the goods.
Last Bottle is a daily wine site based in Napa, California,
One wine every day.
at Black Swan event prices.
Usually 30 to 70% off.
Until poof, it's gone. Whether you're a pound-the-table type
Think ultra crisp, quaffable Sauvignon Blanc,
or a dividend aristocrat,
Burgundy, or Napa Cab.
there simply is no better place to buy wine on the web.
And they always have free shipping.
Last Bottle has a deal just for Penny Lane listeners. Use promo code PENNY
That's PENNY.
to save 10% off your next order with Last Bottle.
The code is good for one order and one order only, and it expires March 11th, 2022.
So head over to lastbottlewines.com today. That's lastbottlewines.com.
Is everyone in your Discord also an options trader, or do you have a mix?
We have a mix.
Cool.
I like having a jack of all trades in here because I want somebody to be good at everything. We have a crypto section. We have even a forex section, options. We have stock. We have just rent other passive income ideas. We have a little bit of everything.
Okay, fantastic. A question about the strat.
Mhm.
It seems to me like it could work for commons or options. Is
Oh
that
yes,
true?
Yes, the strat works for anything. Anything that has a chart, it works on forex, it works on crypto, it works on stocks, shares, options. Anything that has a chart, it does work. And I have actually already tried it, tested it, and yes, it does in fact work.
And it has a 97% win rate.
For me, from what I've been doing, yes, I have. I am mostly winning with using this strat. I
So,
should be going heavier than what I do, but I'm a baby and I like to play small. I like as Ripster says, let big become bigger. I'm still working up the courage to that. Right now, I'm still letting small become big.
sure, sure. Well, that's very smart in this market.
hmm
I
And
probably sized up a little bit too early, and that's now I'm working back to going small. That's You're doing it the right way. I did it the wrong way. Like, I'm
because
ready.
because one of the biggest wins we've had was one of my good friends and everything that's in my Discord. Right when like BKKT before it did that giant explosion, we was me and one of my fellow guys in my Discord named Crack Baby Ape Asian. Um, we seen it, and I was actually looking at other stuff, but he got in it and followed the strat. And for the BKKT before it exploded, he was already in, got his entry and everything because of the strat, and he rode it all the way up to 26,000%.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so yeah, yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. So, for if people are interested in the strat and want to learn it,
hmm
what is the easiest and most cost effective way to do that?
Trade Sniper Sarah's YouTube.
Okay. All right. Trade
She is the queen.
Sniper
She is the queen.
Sarah's YouTube. I hope you guys got that. How many videos does she have?
Oh, she has a good amount. She has I can't even say it. Maybe about 30, 40. She has a good. I can go to YouTube real quick and tell you. She has a
How
good.
many did you watch?
I've watched every one.
Whoa.
But when I first get into something, I like to deep dive into it, and so
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did.
How long are
So
the videos?
they're different lengths. Some of them. Oh, let's see, what's that? Turn it off. Let's see. Okay, yeah, she has about 40 videos. Videos they differ in length. Some of them as short as 7 minutes. Some as long as 1 hour and 40 minutes.
And are they all free?
Yeah, they're all 100% free, and
Whoa.
she literally tells you everything that I could possibly teach you. She could teach and better. She has like a soothing voice with it as well, so it's pretty chill.
I love that.
hmm
So, is she one of your mentors, would you say? Like, did you work with her at all?
I have her on Facebook. They have a
Mm-hmm.
strat channel which she's also in, and yes, I would definitely say she's my mentor because I would ask her questions because I know on Twitter she'd be some bombarded by questions. So whenever I can't get to her on Twitter, I'll just message her on Facebook, and she usually does get right back to me.
I love that.
So she's definitely user friendly. She's definitely a people person, and she'll answer questions. But as of anybody that does a lot, she also says the same thing. Like put in the work. Don't
Yeah.
just try to
Yeah. Yeah.
get
Yeah.
something from nothing.
For sure.
But on her YouTube, she goes over everything. What's the strat? How what does it mean? What's actionable? She actually just posted a new one. Like how can you tell when like a candle is probably most likely going to turn into an outside bar, how to spot monthly setups, how to play gap fills, how to swing trade with the strat, how to put yourself in a winning position instantly.
So, you said earlier when we were talking that you are profitable but not consistent.
hmm
Can we talk a little bit more about that?
Oh yes, that when
Okay.
when I was profitable but wasn't consistent, that is when I was in MTA and Mullins Trading Academy. After I learned the strat, my I became very consistent. I,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. I wasn't clear on that piece. Okay,
yes. Sorry. I
fantastic.
should have clarified that. Yes, after I started learning the strat and everything from Trey Sniper Sarah and Cyberdog and Rob Smith, I started becoming very profitable about it. Very profitable.
Okay.
And first, it began with me being, being very so like, nervous about it. So I bought like one contract. I make maybe 8, $9 because I'll scalp it real quick, get in and get out. And then eventually you build up the confidence. You start holding longer. Then my one contract turned to like $50. So I was like, all right, well, let me buy two contracts. Two contracts start turning into like 250, and so on and so forth. And so then you start noticing what type of setups that really works for you, the ones that you really like. Like
Yeah.
perfect example is AMC yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Caught that one right there from the strat, and it was a easy win right there. And this one, just from looking at this, I didn't we me because I told everybody on my Discord. We just looked at it. I was like, all right, well, we played with this one. I didn't even actually do off of the 4 hours. I
Mhm.
actually made this one purely off the daily, and so I told people because we already knew the daily resistance yesterday was 25.87, and so I told people, well, what's going to happen is if we break through this 25.87, we can potentially go up and see 27.49, and if we break that, we could potentially see 29.55, and as we know, that all came to pass.
It did. It did. We struggled a little bit at that 30.
hmm
What do you think about continuation on that next week?
Continuation on it. What do I think about it? As I mentioned earlier, we've played. We don't predict. We react.
Got it.
That would be my thoughts on it. Whichever way it goes, we'll be ready. It's a like me. I'm looking at it right now. It's above my 9, so I'm actually bullish. Is bullish on the day,
Yep.
but for Monday, I could see continuation. I believe we could see continuation on it. Let me see. Actually, let me give a close range look for it. What do I see? I see we will need to remain above 28.72. If we go under 28.72, there's a chance that we will pull all the way back. And if we pull
Yeah.
back, we'll pull back probably to 27.59. And if we fall under 27.59, we're basically going to restart all the way over.
Fascinating.
hmm And that's like me. That's just me looking at it from the strat. Because right now, on the 4 hour, this will be a 3-1. And remember, I told you, since we know the strat, there's only so many scenarios. There's only going to be probably a 3-1-2 up, 3-1-2 down, or it's going to be another 3-1-1, which is another double inside consolidation. Or very rarely you'll get a 3-1-3 that takes out both sides, which I don't believe we'll see that. So I'm only looking for the upside or downside right now,
Yep.
and we'll just know that from the strat.
So fascinating. So I I'm very interested in this because so many people struggle with the sort of gray areas in trading, and
hmm
this seems very much like a solid trading system. So I'm thrilled to know about it, and I definitely want to watch those YouTube videos. I am also not super consistent. Um, this is fascinating to me.
hmm Me right now, I'm having a very consistent. Like I said, for me right now, I'm basically like 97%.
Uh huh.
Last month, let me look at my Webull right now. Out of last month, I've had two red days.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but like I said, it can vary. Like it can vary, and it can go the opposite way at any point in time. Nothing that like, as I just want to say this to anybody that's listening, no trading plan is 100% bulletproof. Only thing we can do is monitor our entries and monitor our exits. most things about what I tell people about, especially for entries and exits, you should know that before you even get in the trade. So you
Right.
know what, like where you know your edge, where's your angle at? Because a lot of people, a lot of people have smaller accounts, and like I just want to dedicate this for the people that got smaller accounts. So if you have like $1,000 account or just getting new to the stock market, a lot of people will tell you to have a 10% stop, like hard stop loss or a stop loss in general. That's really good and everything, but you also got to take in note. So say somebody hypothetically has $1,000 account. If you take 10 losses of 10% stop losses, you'll be at $0. So
Yep.
that's why I be trying to tell people, me preferably, I want to see right when I get my entry. So say I get calls, or say I'm buying in something and we want it to go up. We want to go long. I wanted to see this candle go up and close above where it still just went. Like I tell people, a small account, if it comes back to your entry at the very beginning, like right when you enter, and it goes up and it comes back to your entry, me personally, I would probably just cut it and restart it, because I don't want to even take the chance. If you want it to go, you want it just to go up.
Right, right, right. Well, it's so impressive that you are such a constant learner. That I mean that I'm very very impressed by that. And that you took the initiative to keep searching and searching until you found something that like your brain understood and that you could be consistently profitable with.
Hmm.
Are you are you still continuously learning stuff every day? Or are you basically just working this system?
I'm still learning stuff every day.
Fascinating. And
No,
I'm sure that the people in your Discord bring you, teach you stuff all the
hmm,
time.
absolutely. Absolutely. As I said earlier, I don't really like indicators, but do people
Uh-huh.
bring new indicators up to me? Yes. Will I turn them down? No. Still show me.
Yeah,
I'm still willing to learn new stuff. If any,
very
like, yeah,
cool.
like I'll take any edge I can potentially get.
What are you doing with your profits? You're building your account, or are you pulling it out for what
Um,
to do
ri-
something,
as of right now, I'm a full time trader because COVID is still here, and a lot of
right?
stuff. And in Texas, our markets for engineering and all that is slowly just now opening back up.
Wait. You're an engineer and you're in Texas?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yes, and
The season 2 finale, I interviewed Dan from Penny's Going in Raw,
hmm,
and he was talking about moving to Texas, and I
yeah.
was like,
I thought he moved to Houston.
yeah, he did. He did.
Hmm.
But I was like, every person on this podcast is an engineer and they're in Texas. And he was like, well, I'm not an engineer. But anyway, I love it. You're really fitting the bill.
Yep. And so yeah. As of right now, I'm still a full time trader. I'm still looking for a like a gig and everything, because more income. Why not?
Yeah,
But for me, I try to take money out as needed, because I still pay bills and everything. So the money I get from the market does support my family. So
very cool. You just take it out as needed, or do you pay yourself on a schedule?
I take it out maybe like once a month or every 2 weeks, depending on how bills fall. My wife likes to shop.
Fantastic. Now, do you have any long term holds?
BlackRock.
Okay. Why did you choose that one?
BlackRock basically supports the world. Every time it's like companies really get about to get like foreclosed, or or can't pay something, BlackRock usually comes to save them, including banks as well. When the big GME and AMC squeeze was happening on banks, and a whole bunch of banks couldn't pay the money or afford to get out, BlackRock really, bailed them out. And so I'm
Cool.
thinking, with something with that much money and a long term, it's probably going to do something.
Very cool. I interviewed the Wolf of Weed Street, honestly, because I liked his strategy. And I'm not profitable enough yet to do this, but his strategy is he pays himself every week and he takes some of that money and puts it into long-term holds that he really believes in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's his account's growing all the time. He has a salary and he's in these stocks that he believes in. And I just think that's the way to do it. That's my
A-
goal, 100%.
Absolutely. That's what one of my good friends in my Discord. That's what he does as well. He has, I don't man, he got like 4 or 5 different long term investments, but he completely just whenever like at once a week he takes the money out and he'll just put all that money right into
Yep.
it, and just keep building this position. He was like, rather it goes up, goes down, he's buying every dip.
I think that's really smart. I also think that the market's slightly unstable right now, so it
Hmm.
might not be exactly the right time, but still,
Absolutely, because
I like the
a
I
lot
like
of
the
people
idea.
there's a lot of people getting really psyched out because of a Santa rally. Everybody's yelling and going crazy for the Santa rally. And so once again, this goes to me telling people, have your bias, but don't get tunnel vision about it. Don't just see one way. If the tickers or the trend is going another way, go the other way.
Yep.
Like everybody's
Yep.
expecting the Santa rally, like, oh, we're gonna go up, we're going up. Well, do you know that? I don't think you do, because nobody is a future teller. And if you do,
Yeah.
I'd give me the lotto picks.
Sure. I'm missing the Santa rally big time.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I was really, really hoping for it. I, as you know, am a small caps trader, and
Mm-hmm.
me having to switch to options has been hard because I really, really love small caps, but I am finding options just significantly easier.
Yes, come to the dark side.
I mean, that's what everyone on Twitter is like, Blaine, come to the dark side, come to the dark side. And I
Yes.
finally have it all set up. I can do options on my Thinkorswim. I understand the levels. Like, it
Hmm.
is slowly but surely really dragging me in because
Absolutely. It's
like I was saying to you, it just works in my brain.
absolutely. It's like the other day I was listening to the Adam Sliver and the coach Dipka
Yes, wasn't that
interview.
so good?
Yes. Shout out to both of them too. Shout out to them. I just want to say, like, they were not lying. The levels do not lie. That's
Yep,
one thing I can say for what they do. Their trading style is different than mine, but even with the strat, like, triggers is a trigger. We both have them.
yep.
We both have our actionable, because they're not going to enter until if their trigger gets broke. That's where, like, when their trigger gets broke, that's what we just call in force. It's the same thing, but those levels do not lie. And that's all you really have to do. That's what makes the options so much like clear cut.
I'm working on a project with my boy Happy right now to do a sweatshirt that says charts don't lie.
Hmm.
After that, we might have to have a collab that says levels don't lie.
Hmm.
Might have to do it.
For sure, because the levels really don't, and you can look at so many other ones. Like yesterday, I called Moderna before it even ran. Like I called Moderna maybe, what was it, like 7:20 in my Discord. I was already telling people about it, and people was like, "Well, what do you see? What do you see?" I was like, "Man, the levels don't lie. If it passes this, it's going to go up."
Yep.
That's all I knew, and everybody was like, "Well, I don't see it. I don't see it." And I was like, "Well, if you look at Moderna on the daily, it was already on the uptrend, and then once again, once again on Thursday, end of the day Thursday, the high it ended at an inside bar, which means it can do one of two things, and well, actually, it can do one of four things to be technical. It can go two up, two down, inside bar, or three to take out everything. And which way would pay? Every which way would have paid. There was really no wrong way to play this.
I
And
love it.
and so this is just like looking at from the strat. Like I said, and this is goes like looking at it from the strat perspective. But also, like I said, my own pure strategy is don't keep a bias. Just, play what's in front of you, what makes sense. And
Yeah.
so just doing that alone, people could have seen it. Right at open, we dipped. We dipped all the way down to, was it 268.71. And so some people was like, oh, let me get in, let me get in. And I told people, no, there's no point to get in. There will be absolutely no point because we're already below the trigger. And plus, me personally, I always tell people, don't play the first 15 to 20 minutes. Let contracts cool down. Like let it wake up,
Mm-hmm.
just let the stock market wake up real quick because that's when it's super volatile. You can really get messed up really quick.
Yep.
And so that's what I told everybody. But I was like, all right, if we break past 287.13, we can go in. But actually, you could possibly get in even earlier. And that's when I called it. I told my people to get in around 282.47, and we just rode it all the way up.
I love that. I love that this is working out for you. I love that you found the strat and that you found a strategy that is consistent, and you've really just made your own way, and that is what it's all about. Very, very impressed.
Thank you.
I've almost kept you for my allotted amount of time, and I would love to ask you one more question, which is, what advice would you give a brand new trader?
Take your time. Don't rush. Be patient. Study, study, study. Then when you get tired, study some more. Don't give up. Believe in yourself. And most importantly, don't forget why you even started this to begin with.
Ah, let's put that on a shirt. That's incredible. Incredible. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope you and your family have a fantastic holiday. And let's keep in touch, and I'd love to have you back on anytime. You're so eloquent. I love the way you explain things, and this was a real pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Pleasure's all mine.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, what do you have there from Last Bottle Wines?
Last Bottle Wine sent us the proprietary blend from Napa Valley, 2017. We got 3 bottles. This is the one that I want to open first.
Ooh, I love a 2017. You got a little vintage on it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been aged. Most looking forward to this. I love a blend, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to sample it. Again, this should be a bottle that I can't just go into the store and find, so very excited. We've got this handy-dandy opener here. It's called a cork pop.
Ooh.
Put it in. Open.
Woo!
Whoa.
It's a party.
That was a cool sound.
Little from me.
Look.
Little from the wife.
Quinn, you say hi to
2017 proprietary blend from Last Bottle.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's giving me flashbacks to the wedding.
Ooh. I'm getting dark fruit and earthy tones.
Pretty full.
It is. It's very, very good though.
Nice mouthfeel.
But lots of. I'm going to go back for more.
I'm going to say this. It was worth breaking dry January.
What else could you want?
Agreed. So, looking up this bottle.
Tell everybody the name.
Yount Ridge.
Yount Ridge.
Yount Ridge.
Y-O-U-N-T.
Y-O-U-N-T.
Ooh, I like that.
And it is, let's see, on Vivino, it's a 4.7. I don't know the rating of it. I can tell you that it was $128 retail per bottle. That is obviously not what we had to pay with Last Bottle. Because
what's the Last Bottle price?
This, as we said, rich and intense and a score of 93. Again, I'm walking down the aisles of my local wine store. I'm not picking this bottle out. It's too expensive. But on Last Bottle, and it shows up to the house, amazing.
Can't beat that.
No,
Love
adding
that.
to the collection.
Also, you guys who are Penny Lane Pod listeners can get 10% off one order for one time from now until March. So saving even more.
I don't know how you wouldn't do that based on the types of wine that we're receiving. It's amazing.
Yep. Guys, order the wine, use the code, support the pod. We all win.
Oh, and impress your friends.
Absolutely.
Great point.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. Enjoy that wine. Thank you to our producer Joel Edwards and Chesley Lowe for the banjo music. Please like, subscribe, and share this on social media. We appreciate you guys.
By accessing this podcast, you acknowledge that the Penny Lane podcast makes no warranty, guarantee, or representation as to the accuracy or sufficiency of the information featured in this podcast. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. This podcast should not be considered professional or financial advice. Unless specifically stated otherwise, the Penny Lane podcast does not endorse, approve, recommend, or certify any information, product, process, service, or organization presented or mentioned in this podcast, and information from this podcast should not be referenced in any way to imply such approval or endorsement. The third-party materials or content of any third-party site referenced in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions, standards, or policies of the Penny Lane podcast. The Penny Lane podcast assumes no responsibility or liability for the accuracy or completeness of the content contained in third-party materials or on third-party sites referenced in this podcast, or the compliance with applicable laws of such materials and/or links referenced herein.